Hey readers, welcome back to Dragons and Spaceships. I'm your host, Brandi, and today we are diving into a twisty, atmospheric, gothic thriller that had me way up past my bedtime flipping pages. Our featured book this week is The Only One Left by Riley Sager, a haunting, suspenseful mystery set inside a collapsing cliffside mansion where secrets linger in every creaking hallway. If you've ever read Sager before, you already know this man can write tension like nobody else. But this one feels like his love letter to classic gothic thrillers, moody, eerie, and full of shifting truths. This episode will be spoiler-free, so don't worry. I'll introduce the story, set the scene, explore the characters, and break down the themes without ruining any of the wild twists. But before we dive into our main feature, I want to shine a quick spotlight on a book that has been bringing warmth and hope to readers lately. The book is My Beloved, a brand new entry in the beloved Mitford series, the 15th novel from Jan Karon, released just on October 7, 2025. This installment returns to the charming town of Mitford during the Christmas season, where a misplaced love letter from Father Tim to his wife Cynthia starts making the rounds and ends up touching the lives of many in the small community. Stories evolve for folks like Helen, the piano teacher, Hope, the village bookseller, and even longtime fans get new chapters in favorite characters' lives. It's being described as heartfelt, life-affirming, and full of the down-home kindness, humor, and community spirit that longtime Mitford fans know and love. So if you're craving a cozy, warm-hearted story, especially one that wraps you in community and hope just in time for the holidays, My Beloved could be the next perfect read. Keep that one on your radar. Okay, let's set the mood here because setting is everything in this book. The Only One Left takes place in 1980 at a decaying, crumbling mansion called Hope's End, perched dramatically on a cliff overlooking the main coastline. The house is literally falling apart piece by piece, threatening to slide into the sea at any moment. And honestly, this house is a whole character in itself. Our protagonist, Kit McDeary, is a young home health aide assigned to care for an elderly woman named Lenora Hope, who has spent decades as a recluse. The world believes Lenora murdered her entire family back in the 1920s, a case as famous as the Lizzie Borden story. And Kit is walking straight into the middle of all that mystery. When Kit arrives, she discovers Lenora can only communicate by tapping out letters with one finger on a typewriter. Eerie enough already. From the moment Kit steps inside Hope's End, Sager creates this thick, unsettling atmosphere. The sense that something is very wrong has been festering inside those walls for decades. Between the stormy coastline, the decaying architecture, and the whispered reputation of its only resident, Hope's End gives the story this delicious, gothic vibe. You can practically hear the wind rattling through the windows as you read. Now let's talk about the characters, because everyone in this story brings a little chaos with them. We have Kit, our heroine. Kit is smart, steady, and running from her own troubled past. She's recently been suspended after a patient in her care died under suspicious circumstances. She is desperate for a second chance, even though this assignment is anything but safe. Kit is the perfect lens for the story. She is guarded, observant, and always trying to figure out who she can trust, if anyone. Lenora Hope, the famous Only One Left. She was a teenager when her parents and sister were killed in their home. And though she was never convicted, the world has treated her like a monster for over 50 years. Unable to speak or move freely, she communicates by typing, and soon begins typing out the real story of what happened that night. Lenora is a fascinating character because you never quite know if she's a victim or a master manipulator, and Sager keeps you guessing the entire time. Then we have Miss Baker, the stern housekeeper who seems loyal to Lenora, but maybe a little too loyal. Miss Baker watches everything, knows everything, and makes Kit feel unwelcome from day one. Then we have Jesse, the handyman who appears helpful, charming, and maybe even a little flirty. But he has secrets of his own. Kit never knows if he's a friend or a threat. Now we have Carter, Kit's boss, and the man who assigns her to Hope's End. His intentions seem supportive, but in Sager's book, intentions are always questionable. Together, this cast creates that perfect closed circle mystery feeling. Everyone is in the same isolated place, everyone has something to hide, and everyone could be lying. One thing I love about Riley Sager is that beneath all the twists and scares, there's always something deeper going on. We have the stories we tell about women. Lenora Hope has lived her entire life under a story that may or may not be true. The town decided who she was before she could defend herself. The book asks, what happens to a woman when her entire identity is shaped by rumors? Next, we have trauma and repetition. Both Kit and Lenora are shaped by tragedy, and both are trapped in their past in different ways. Their stories parallel each other in surprising ways as Kit learns more of the truth. Then we have trust and unreliability. From the crumbling house to the tangled testimonies, nothing in this book is stable. You're constantly questioning who's lying, who's protecting who, and who benefits from the truth staying buried. Then we have a gothic atmosphere and isolation. The book leans into classic gothic tropes, the gloomy mansion, the lonely cliffs, the haunting past, but gives them a modern, fresh twist. All of these themes blend together to create a mystery that feels moody, emotional, and utterly addictive. Let me tell you, the vibe of this book is immaculate. Sager writes with this eerie cinematic detail that makes every room in Hope's End feel haunted. You can hear the house settling, you can feel the ocean wind pushing against the windows, and you can sense that someone or something is always watching. The pacing is fantastic. The Lenora typing her story sections feel almost like confessions, and the way Sager intertwines past and present builds tension steadily. And that last third of the book, I won't spoil anything, but just know you won't guess where this thing is going. So here's my question for all of you. Do you think a person could ever escape the story the world tells about them? Lenora's entire life has been defined by suspicion. Kit's career has been defined by one tragic incident, and in a small town, reputations cling to you like shadows. Do you think you would have trusted Lenora? Would you have taken the assignment at Hope's End? Let me know. I love hearing your thoughts and theories. But before we go, this week's spotlight goes to the 2025 Goodreads Choice Awards, a reader-voted celebration of the year's most loved books. This year, a record-breaking 7.5 million votes were cast across 15 categories. Some of the winners will probably look familiar to you because we've covered books similar in style and spirit here on Dragons and Spaceships. In historical fiction, for example, Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid took the win. Other winners span a range of genres from heart-wrenching fiction to thrilling fantasy, rom-coms, horror, and beyond, showing us just how diverse and passionate the Goodreads community is when it votes. It is such a fun roundup because it reminds us all of the different kinds of stories out there, from cozy small-town romance to dark gothic thrillers. It gives a sense of what resonated with readers globally this year. So, if you're looking to expand your reading list before your year ends, the 2025 Goodreads Choice Awards winners are a goldmine. So keep those bookmarks ready because reading through some of these could be a perfect way to wrap up the year. The only one left is one of those thrillers that completely pulls you into its world. Dark corridors, old secrets, and all. It's twisty but emotional, eerie but intimate, and the ending is that kind of twist that reminds you exactly why Riley Sagers has become such a big name in modern thrillers. If you love gothic mysteries, unreliable characters, and stories that feel like they could topple into the sea at any moment, this is a must-read. Thank you for joining me for another episode of Dragons and Spaceships. Don't forget to subscribe, share the episode, and tag us with your favorite moments or theories from The Only One Left. Until next time, stay curious, keep reading, and may your TBR pile never stop growing.